Welcome everyone to Magius Plays! Last time we finished up the original Metroid, and now the first game in the Metroid series, and now we are going to probably the last game to date of the 2D Metroid series, Metroid Zero Mission. This is a remake of the original Metroid on the Game Boy Advanced. After completing the Metroid Fusion, Nintendo recognized that the original Metroid was, well, shall we say, rather dated. So they decided to go back and redo it. And this is the result. Planet Zebes. I called this place home once, in peaceful times, long before evil haunted the caverns below. Now I shall finally tell the tale of my first battle here, my so-called Zero Mission. And while this is very much a remake of the original Metroid, there are also quite a few differences from there. Right off the bat, we have different enemy placement. And we have the status screen to tell us what the upgrades we get actually do. The jumping physics is a little bit wonky, at least if you're a fan of the other games in this Metroid series. But should be old hat if you're familiar with Metroid Fusion. However, like the original Metroid, our gun does not fire very far right off the bat. However, there are some pretty significant quality of life upgrades, like actually being able to duck and shoot. Now, morph in midair, and more that we will see come to be throughout the rest of the series. On the downside, we also see a return of some of the things from Metroid Fusion that were a bit more controversial. Namely, being the navigation system telling you exactly where to go and, to a degree, what to do. Here we have our first save room, where save the game, and if I remember correctly in this version, it also refills your health. So unlike the original game, or even Super Metroid when we get to that, you don't have to go around farming health from all sorts of different things. I'll be hitting those up regularly, just to be on the safe side. There's nothing we can do over there, even though that block is we're obviously able to get through that block. And likewise, our gun doesn't shoot far enough for us to get through there. So, we just have to keep going. Up, and up, and up, and up. Yeah. And once we get here, this is where the statue told us to go. And sure enough, we can get through here. Can't quite get through there yet. Unlike the original Metroid, I will not be using a map or messing around with a lot of save states, because this game does a really good job of letting you know where you need to go and what you can do. I also probably won't be doing a 100% run of this, so that's going to be pretty much par for the course for this series. And not quite sure why that's not working. But have a few more places we can get to now. So let's go exploring. Have a little bit of acid down, or lava or acid down there, which can be a little bit dangerous. And here we have the entrance to Torian. A bit fancier, but still the same prospect. We need to defeat both Ridley and Kraid to get in there. And until we do that, those heads aren't going anywhere. Yeah, surprise enemy there, which really hurt. And another bit of direction. The game wants us to go over that way now. Fill up. And get on our way. If you remember that bit where we couldn't, our beam just didn't reach the other side, here, you can get in there now. Still can't quite get through there. We need missiles for that. Quite get up to there. Yeah, can't go up this way. So we're going to have to go down. And just ignore the bug crawling all over our suit. Grab a quick save. Okay, looks like those don't heal you up, but that's not too big a deal. And we have something going on here. If you remember correctly, this is where we had to go to get the missiles in the original game. But unlike the original game, okay, this is going to be interesting. We have a boss here. Which I did not do a very good job of taking out. Well, I think we'll have another chance at that later on. For now, we need to continue exploring. And getting some health back, because we took a lot of damage from that fight. Yeah. I keep forgetting, one of the quality of life upgrades they put in here is the missile doors only require one missile to get through instead of 5. It's not a huge change in terms of how the game plays, but it is very much appreciated. Blow that up, we can get over here. Not that hard to get rid of. And get through both of those, we get to our next doorway. And need our bombs. We need bombs to get through there. And here we have our first energy tank. We're really going to have to figure out what's going on with the controls there. If I can't use the missiles properly, that's going to make for a very interesting playthrough. But it's not too big of a deal yet. So now we're over here. Collect a few more missiles. It wants us to go up there. Let's see what's in here first. Oh, map room. One of the innovations that first showed up in Super Metroid, the map room gives us a layout of the area, which makes it a lot easier to figure out how to get around and where you're supposed to be going. As you can already tell from this game, they reduced the difficulty of this quite significantly from what the original game had. And not just in getting around and remembering where you are. As you can see, everything is a lot easier to differentiate, a lot harder to confuse one area for another. I need our bombs to get through there, so move along here. And let's get them. A nice little area to show how the bombs work. And get us another upgrade along the way. There we go. Refill everything. And make our way back out. Can't get through that door, so we have to bomb our way out. Yeah, to take out the bugs to get the door to open, so we can make our way out here. Let's go ahead and grab the save point right quick. Yeah, one thing about me is when I have the opportunity, I save obsessively. May not be the most time-effective way to go through the game, but it means that if I do not, or if something happens and I end up biting it, or something goes horribly wrong, I don't lose very much progress. Yep. So always remember, lava hurts. At least for these early games it does. Our way out, and now we can go down here. Do a bit more exploring. And now we figure out where we need to go next. And that's saying we need to go down to Norfair. Now, these enemies, being a lot slower than in Metroid, are a whole heck of a lot easier to take care of. Well, I have to go through this the normal way. Fortunately, we don't have to take both of these things out. We just can just take one out, drop down, and run across. Now, if you remember, this is an area where you could, in the original game, you could head over and get the ice beam. Oh, some of the changes they've made in the game. You no longer need to, or they need to make sure you get the beams at a much more reasonable pace, because now they're going to stack. So instead of putting the ice beam here, they put a missile pack. And these things are not going to play nice, are they? Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, that's not happening in a reasonable time frame, so let's continue on, shall we? We saw what's down there, and that's good enough for the time being. Now, head down. And we have this guy again. And he's just going to be a pain until I actually take care of him in the... Well, that'll happen soon enough, folks. For now, just head on down into Norfair and see a little bit of a cutscene. Yeah, a little hint to a upgrade that we'll be getting later on in the run, but not yet. Got to the save point, save the game, and I think that's going to be a good place to call it a day. So, tune in next time when we continue exploring Metroid Zero Mission. Until then, Magius out.